friends, Dani here with Peaceful Bird Gardens. I wanted to talk about when to start annuals in Central Florida Zone 10A. That's the zone that I am currently in. It can be a little tricky. I cannot tell you how many times I go to, say, like the big box store, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Ace Hardware. Those are the three main big box stores that we have here in our area, and see lots of vegetable plants that would absolutely not grow outdoors at this time of year. So we are in springtime here right now. It's, I want to say, the end of March. And for most people up north, this is a wonderful time to begin planting because you can grow through the summertime. I'm getting ready to put my annual garden to bed. I'm finishing out with the annuals for the year, and we are going to start preparing our main annual gardening area with cover crops through the summer, to go through the summertime, because annuals don't grow here in the summertime. The annuals that you think of, like this mustard. So as you can see, this mustard is going to flower. We planted this in the fall and it gave us wonderful crops of mustard greens all through the winter time. Now, beside my mustard here, I have an eggplant. I believe this is a Thai variety of eggplant, and this will continue to grow into the summertime. So this started flowering, I want to say, a few weeks ago, and she's looking really beautiful. So I expect to have eggplant into the beginning of summertime. But even my eggplant will not last the entire summertime. Our heat, our humidity, it's just too intense. Now, if you have had success with growing things like brassicas or carrots or potatoes, even big tomatoes outside in Zone 10A in Florida, I would love to know about that in the comments below, because I want to know what your secret is, because we have yet to do it. My nasturtiums, we plant, well, I don't plant nasturtiums anymore, they actually plant themselves, but our nasturtiums start to pop up, I want to say about October, and then they are just gorgeous and prolific through the winter time and into spring. But by, I want to say, June, my nasturtiums are gone. They've all withered down to nothing, and they'll be dormant until October again. It's a little disheartening when I go to the nurseries, the uneducated nurseries or the big box stores that unfortunately are just there to sell plants, and you see these very ambitious, brand new gardeners who want to get into annual gardening, and they think, okay, well, springtime, that is when I should plant my annual vegetables. And I'm not saying you can't do it. Hey, plant what you want. Dani is not telling you that you can't, that you can't plant it. Give it a try, see how it goes. But in my experience, you're gonna be disappointed. You're just gonna be disappointed. So whenever I do see people at like a big box nursery or even a smaller nursery that is still putting out bulbing onions in March, like the big bulb onions to plant right now in March, I try to discourage people from going through with that, because it's a disappointment, because it's generally not going to grow for you with our climates and with our humidity and our heat. The best time, in my experience, to plant annuals like broccoli, cauliflower, your brassica vegetables, that's going to be, for me, I start seeds in September to plant out in October. Carrots, same thing with carrots. Potatoes, I even start tomatoes in September, and then they grow through the fall. They kind of slow down their growth through the winter time, but then boy, do they pick right back up in late January, February, and we've just had an explosion of cherry tomatoes all through the springtime. Now, what you could plant in the springtime would be things like beans. You can plant beans. You can also plant beans in the wintertime, but you can plant beans in the spring. You can plant melons. You can plant, as I said, eggplant. You can plant okra. I start sweet potatoes in the springtime, and I have a whole vegetable growing guide on my website, and I'll leave a link in the description below for that. We have a long growing season here in Zone 10A. We really do. As I said, I start my fall, winter, spring gardening in September, and then we grow all through fall, winter, and spring. But then once it starts to hit this time of the year, the annual garden, the part of the food forest that doesn't last through the summertime, it goes through its ugly phase, as I call it, and they just kind of go away, and then we're left with our perennial greens and the plants that can handle the heat, like our pigeon peas. Those can handle hot weather, and black-eyed peas. Those can also handle hot weather. And winged beans, if you do any of the Asian beans, those can also grow throughout the heat of the summertime, but they're designed for the tropics. So what you need are plants that are designed for subtropical to tropical environments. And brassicaceae plants and carrots, as I mentioned, potatoes, onions, bulbing onions, they are just not going to do that for you in 100-degree heat, which is what we get here. So I just wanted to take a moment to just share that with you, and hopefully you have a successful growing season, my sweet friends. If you like this kind of content, if you're interested in growing food in an urban environment, planting natives for wildlife, come on the journey with us, give us a like, hit subscribe. We hope to see you again on Peaceful Bird Gardens. Have a lovely afternoon.